is it about runners when we see them out on the street jogging? What is it that you think about? Is it, man, I wish I know how to start running? Well, today I'm going to talk to you about running essentials, and hopefully you will avoid making those rookie mistakes. I'm going to go over, running gear that you need, Jeff Galloway's training method, injury prevention, and road safety. So let's kick this off by talking about the running gear that you're going to need. There are 3 things that you absolutely cannot live without: shoes, clothing, and a way to time yourself. You wouldn't put a car tire on a truck, so don't put a pair of shoes on your feet not designed for running. I encourage that all runners go to a local running store to be properly fitted for shoes, because there they can do an analysis and match the shoes according to your needs. When you get them, I would go ahead and try on all of the pairs of shoes that they give you, and then pick the most comfortable option. There are 3 stores in the local Richmond area that offer this service that I know of, and that's Roadrunner, Fleet Feet, and Lucky Feet. As it relates to clothing, just remember this age-old runner saying, cotton is rotten. You see, athletic technical wear will wick moisture away, while cotton just traps it in, and you end up getting blisters or chafing. You're going to need a way to time yourself, and mostly because it's an effective way for training. There are just regular old watches, or there are free phone apps. Map My Run is one, and the Interval Timer app is another one that's also free. And you're going to find out how that timer app might actually be really beneficial when I discuss the training method next. Now you see, there's 50 ways to skin a cat. So there are a multitude of running training programs available out there. But with the absolute beginner in mind, I'm going to talk to you today about Jeff Galloway's walk-run method. You see, he has you walking for a specified time, run for a specified time, and repeat that for however many long minutes or distance that you need to go. So for example, you're going to walk for 3 minutes, run for a minute, you're going to repeat this 3-1 interval for say 30 minutes or maybe up to 2 miles. This method is pretty effective because it gives you a rest break, it reduces fatigue, and therefore it speeds recovery. Many runners use this method for all sorts of type of distance running, even full marathons. Now I know you're probably ready to hit the road. We have our gear, we have our running training method program, but I think we need to spend a little bit of time about injury. Because I can speak from personal experience. You could be 4 weeks out from a race and be sidelined by preventable injury, and it's just not a fun place to be, okay? The first thing you'd want to do is a proper warm-up and cool-down. The warm-up gets your body ready for work, and the cool-down brings your resting heart rate back down. You're going to want to do a complete stretching circuit, okay? As Women's Running Magazine indicated in their article, tight muscles limit our mobility and our flexibility and leave us susceptible to injuries. The other thing that you're going to want to do is adopt a strength training program. Oftentimes we get injury because of muscle imbalances from weak glutes, weak core muscles, or a hip complex. I found effective exercises include bridges, planks, and side leg raises. The other thing that we can do is just simply listen to our body, okay? As Jeff Galloway says, no huffing, no puffing. If you can't speak while you're running, you need to slow your pace down. Also, shorten your stride, especially uphill, because when we overstride, we tend to mess up our running mechanics. The other thing you can do is just don't do too much too soon. Overtraining ultimately kills your training, period. It just leaves you into a disaster. So just keep it smooth and steady, okay? You'll also want to stop anytime you feel pain. So if you're out there, don't embrace that no pain, no gain attitude. It's just going to lead you down a detrimental road. So we've talked about running prevention here. Let's touch base on road safety, because let's face it, with all of the injury prevention will be probably for nothing if you get struck by a car. Am I correct? Yes. So there are 4 rules I want you to take away today. Rule number 1, just assume all drivers are drunk and don't see you. Fairly simple, correct? You see, drivers are distracted today. There are blind spots in our windshields and they really cannot see us. So your other rule of rule number 1 is to make eye contact with that driver before you cross any intersection. Rule number 2, I want you to carry a cell phone and a photo ID with you everywhere you go in case of emergency. Rule number 3, wear bright reflective clothing. Neon colors are terrific for motorists to see. If you're going to be out there when it's low light or dark, you need to invest in some additional gear, including headlamps, light up armbands, and I've seen some really snazzy light up LED vests on the market today. Last but not least, this 4th rule, and I'm probably pretty sure it's really unpopular, but I'm going to ask you to avoid using earbuds. I know you want to hit that hill to Eye of the Tiger, but while you have music blasting in your ears, you cannot hear oncoming vehicles or people approaching you. If you absolutely need your music, I'm going to ask you to limit it to one ear at this time. Take the other one out, preferably that's facing the street, so you might end up having to have a shift in the middle of your run. Now I know we've talked about a lot of different running essentials today, so let's recap what we did, okay? We need running gear. First priority, shoes. Second is your clothing. Third would be a way to time yourself. We talked about Jeff Galloway's walk-run method. That is a way to ease into running by using walk-run intervals. You have injury prevention out there. Warm up, cool down, stretching, listen to your body, and weight training. Last but not least, the 4 rules of the road, and they are make eye contact with that driver, use your cell phone, keep it with you, and your photo ID. You want to limit your earbud use, and you also want to wear bright and reflective clothing. I appreciate you guys coming out here today and learning about running essentials, and hopefully this gets you off to a good start.